before we dive straight into today's session, I would like to ask us, right, what are your expectations for today? Today, we are looking at a very, very important topic, from sales to growth. I know that sales is critical for any business, indeed for community pharmacy practice. You've got to have the cash flow running as smoothly as possible. But, beyond the sales, right, there are other factors that affect growth as well. While I know that sales is one primary factor that all of us like to discuss, it's usually the first before the others. There are also other factors that advance growth. And today's session really will help us to pay attention to all of these factors, including sales. So I'd like to hear from us, right? What are our expectations from today's session? I'm familiar with some of us. It would be good to introduce yourself as well. Where are you listening from? Are you in Lagos? Are you in Abuja? Are you in Kaduna? Are you in Cross Rivers? Are you in Delta? Are you in Kogi? Wherever you are, let us know. You can type that in the chat section, or you can simply raise your hand to introduce yourself. So yeah, let's do that in say 2-3 minutes before our facilitator comes on board. So let's know who you are, where you're listening from, the name of your pharmacy, and what your expectations are for today's session. All right, who's going to start for us? You can also type in the chat section. I'll go on to read in the chat section. From Isaac Joshua Nawaila, yeah, please let's have you introduce yourself to us. Who you are, name of your pharmacy, and where you're listening to us from, plus your expectations for today's session. If I'm Joshua, you may unmute yourself. You can also type in the chat section, and we will read. Whoever is able to unmute can also do that as well. I know that some of us may be in busy environments, but no wahala. So, okay, yes, from Lotana Wadiliora, Right Care Pharmacy, Benin City. Her expectation is to gain novel ideas on how I made that mistake yesterday. His expectation is to gain novel ideas on how to responsibly increase sales. Fantastic. Responsibly increase sales. So you are not just trying to increase sales for increased sake, but you want to do it in an ethical manner, in a responsible manner. Very good. Very good. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing that with us. Yes, let's hear from other people. Your expectations for today's session. What do you hope to learn? What do you hope to learn? Pharmobology. All right, looks forward to Pharmobology from Tower Care Pharmacy, Ojodu, Lagos. Looking forward to an enlightening session to learn innovative ways to grow the business. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. From Ajalo Abraham, 3-hour Pharmacare, Lagos. So let's learn what your expectations are as well. What do you look forward to learning in today's session? Let's keep the introductions coming. What do you hope to learn in today's session? What is that one thing? What are those two things? What are those three things that you hope that you will learn in today's session? Let's hear from you. You can type in the chat section, or you can simply unmute yourself. All right, so I'll give 1 minute to hear from one more person. The expectation from today's session. From Oyin Consola Akinwande, what are your expectations for today's session? From Christiane, what are your expectations for today's session? From Nawaila, what are your expectations from today's session? So let's hear from you. Your expectations from today's session. What do you will learn at the end of today's session? Hello from Okechi, so good to have you here. From Oluranti Oyewusi, so good to have you here. All right. So while we share our expectations in the chat section, okay, from Ajalo, indexes to measure, to be sure that one is actually growing or not aside sales. I think that is so powerful, right? Because the fact that you're making sales you're counting a lot of money every day or every week, it doesn't necessarily mean that the business is growing. I think that is so profound, right? Indexes to measure, indexes to look out for, metrics to look out for, to be sure that one is actually growing or not. Aside sales, fantastic. I believe that our facilitator is already noting all of these expectations, and I'm sure that she will attend to them in the course of her presentation. Our facilitator is the co-founder and managing director at Glee World Pharmacy. She is an accomplished pharmacy executive with more than 11 years experience with expertise in pharmaceutical care, health promotion, and pharmacotherapy. She's also a digital pharmacist, and I'm so glad to be able to know that, because we are in such an age where technology is powering anything and everything. It is powering industries, it is powering processes and systems, and the community pharmacy sector is not left out. I'm very glad to be able to see that she is rethinking ways to infuse digital technology into community pharmacy practice. And she's always looking for ways to integrate technology and mobile health into pharmacy practice and patient care. She's also a social entrepreneur. She's a pharmacist mentor, and she's an emerging business who is committed to making Africa a better place for all. Fantastic. So Lagos is not just her terrain. Nigeria is not her terrain. Africa is her terrain, right? From Lagos to the world, from Nigeria to the world. So good, so good. She actually began her career as a hospital pharmacist at the University College Hospital, Ibadan. And from there, she moved into community pharmacy practice at Health Plus Pharmacy, one of the leading retail pharmacy chains in Nigeria. She had a 7-year stint, pardon me, a 7-year stint at Health Plus, where she grew through the ranks to become the district manager for Lagos Island and Western region at the time. In that period, she set up about 8 new branches within Lagos Island and Southwest Nigeria, where she oversaw the operations of about 15 pharmacy branches and 2 Casabella branches, the beauty store subsidiary of Health Plus. And she directly supervised about 30 pharmacists, 30 healthcare assistants, and about 8 beauty advisors. And she really, really excelled in all of these roles as she ensured productivity and profitability of her district, winning awards, multiple awards, including award for Best District Pharmacist and Best Pharmacist. She was regularly surpassing annual sales targets. So if you need to increase your sales, she's the person you should be talking to. If you need to grow your pharmacy, she's the person you should be talking to. And she also, interestingly, led the company's recruitment drive to close up the workforce shortfall. And that's even similar to what we're currently experiencing right in the practice with the jackpotting in the sector. And there's a lot of immigration of pharmacists out of Nigeria, right? So she's somebody that you should be talking to, for innovative ways to be able to close these kinds of gaps in your business. She's very passionate about mentoring young pharmacists and healthcare assistants to create inspiring careers. So good. And she holds a Bachelor of Pharmacy degree from Olabisi Onabanjo University. She's also got a certificate in entrepreneurial management from the Enterprise Development Center of the Lagos Business School. Indeed, you will agree with me that our facilitator for today is highly loaded, heavily loaded. And we are so excited to have her on board today. And we look forward to having a fantastic conversation as we discuss how to prepare our pharmacy for success. How to move it from not only making sales, but actually truly recording tremendous growth. Over to you, pharmacist Bimpe Ojo. So good to have you here, ma'am.
All right. Thank you so much, Taiwo, for that fantastic welcome address. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Good day, everyone. I must say a very big thank you for all viewers for today. I really appreciate you for creating time to join this webinar. Also, I have to say a very good thank you to Advantage Health Africa and Mypharmacy Growth Hub. You guys are really doing a fantastic work. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for this type of platform to share ideas, to learn from one another, you know, and to grow as individuals. Okay, I will dive into today's topic so that we do not take so much of our time. Okay, our topic today is sales to growth, prepping your community pharmacy for success. I'm sure we are all into the business of retail for growth and also to be successful as a business. All right, so I will go into 4 key points. We are going to be delving into 4 key points for today. And the first will be understanding the pharmacy sales life cycle. Then we move to strategies for sustainable growth, then leveraging on community engagement and embracing technology for success. After all these 4 key points, then we move into the Q&A session. So let's start with understanding the pharmacy sales life cycle. So in operating a pharmacy, we must understand that there are 6 stages of sales life cycle. Nothing just happens in business. There are stages, there are principles that we all need to maximize for us to have these massive sales we are all looking forward to. And the first I'll be talking about today is awareness. So when you set up your community pharmacy, you are going to be very critical about the awareness. And under this awareness, it captures your physical infrastructure, like your signage. You have to pay a lot of attention to that signage that you are putting out there. The signage gives you that awareness that, oh, you exist in that community. Okay, so you're going to make sure that your signage is well lit. It captures the pharmacy emblem, your name, and every other information that can quickly create the awareness that you are operating in that society. And also because we are in the 21st century, where technology, is now the in thing in our society. Awareness doesn't just stop at just having a signage or a billboard or something. There's a way you can create awareness leveraging the internet. You can create awareness on all your social media platform. So it's very important that you have a business account on all your social media platform. I remembered when we first launched, then the first place where we created our awareness is on Google. After we've done the physical signage, we quickly went on Google to register so that if anybody is searching for pharmacies around, at least they can Google and find you. So on Google, if you have not registered on Google, go and register. And it's free, you don't have to spend anything. So you put your details, your phone number, everything that your pharmacy does, you put it on Google. And I remember then I got some calls. And when I see a strange number, I'll ask, oh, who gave you my number? How did you get this number? And I will hear things like, oh, I just Googled and I saw your pharmacy. And that's where I picked your number from. So Google is very important in us creating awareness for our business. And you can also still take that Google up by leveraging what we call search engine optimization. So this is like a step higher than just registering your business on Google. So when you do search engine optimization, it gives you that upper hand. When people search for pharmacy near me or pharmacy around, your name will be the name of your pharmacy will be the first to pop up when you do search engine optimization. So it's very important that we leverage all the digital aspects online, when we are creating awareness. So after you've created awareness, then you start getting interest of people in the community. Oh, okay, there's a new pharmacy around. What do they do? So it is the content you post on social media, the kind of awareness you create in your pharmacy, that begins to catch the interest of the people. That, oh, okay, these people, they do this here, they offer this service. Oh, okay, how can I benefit? How can I do this and that? So after the interest stage, then people start to consider, you now start having potential customers, that, okay, this pharmacy, can they take care of my BP medication? They start considering. At that point, they might not have committed to you fully, because they are still in that skeptical stage where they are trying to, okay, gauge you as a brand. They are just gauging you. Do this fit into my need, and all that. Then, before you now get to the purchase level, so it's at the purchase level that you need to do some critical work. When customers get to the point of purchase, you have to go the extra mile to start to get their data. Very important. You can't afford to joke with data in this 21st century, because data now is like oil. So at the point of purchase, you engage more with your customers. You get their data, put it into your system. Okay, what are they buying? And I'm sure you know that in the business of a community pharmacy, you don't just want to present yourself like a normal market person that, oh, what do you want? Buy and sell. No. As a professional, we have to, take our business beyond just doing buying and selling. You have to give your expertise, the value you are offering to your customer at that point of purchase. They have to see the need, why they want to commit to you as a brand. So you give them the value you are offering in a professional way. That is why a pharmacist has to always be on duty. You're not going to just leave your store for your sales assistant to handle everything. No, your pharmacist must be there to give that professional touch. It is when people are confident that, oh, I can always meet a pharmacist for counseling in this brand. That's when you see them, they will want to commit to you. Then we move to the post-purchase engagement. I tell you, follow up is very, very crucial. I've seen customers, appreciate us for following up. You're not just going to stop at the point that you have sold the medicines to the customer. So when you follow up on the customer, oh, you check on them, how are you doing with your hypertension? How are you doing with the anti-malaria that I sold to you? Hope you're getting better now. They feel so relaxed, and they appreciate that a lot when you show that concern, that you are not just after their money, So you must go extra mile to show them that care, that you are more than just an ordinary pharmacy. So the post-purchase engagement is very, very important. And I tell you, when customer enjoy the post-purchase engagement, you're trying to build trust and all that. By the time they see that, oh, I can actually trust this person with my information, I can trust this person with my condition, they now become loyal to you. They are loyal to you, and they now become advocates. They refer other people to you. I tell you, I have a lot of customers that when I ask, how do you get your number? They will say, is this Madam so that gave me your contact? They say you can get me this. They say you can direct me on this. So when you harness these 6 stages critically and to the maximum, it will definitely lead to you having return customers. You will have return customers, you will have a lot of referrals, You will even have lifetime customers that you will now become their first pharmacy. Even if you don't have some of the medicines they need at the time, you will be their first point of call whenever they need help regarding their health. So it's very important that we follow these stages critically for us to boost our sales. So we are not just going to do buying and selling. It is very important, from awareness to the content we are posting on media to what is catching the attention of the customer, and the point of purchase where you begin to gather data. Very important. You don't want to joke with data of your customers. Okay, so we move to strategies for sustainable growth. There are 4 points that I listed here. Number one, you have to have diverse products. So as a community pharmacy, you've got to have a wide range of products, although stocked in few quantities, depending on what your inventory says that is needed for your pharmacy. But it's very important that you have expensive, or let me not say expensive, products for the high class customers, for the middle class, and for the low income earners. Because as a community pharmacy, you don't just want to brand yourself like a big brand. I tell you, as a one man or two, one branch or two branches, we are still not big yet. So we are going to package our product in a way that you are meeting the need of all your customers, so that even if a low income earner visits your pharmacy, they are still able to get paracetamol as low as 150 naira. You are not just going to stock all imported goods on your shelf, or all your supplements, they are the high priced one. If you package yourself in that way, it's going to chase the low income earners away. They are going to be looking at you as, that pharmacy, they are for the rich, So it's very important that we have diverse products to cater to the needs of each class of your customers. Therefore, we have to be patient centered in our approach when it comes to stocking our products. And I tell you, the next point I will talk about is cultivating customer loyalty. You have to have some packages that customers look forward to when they come to your pharmacy. You can have packages in form of some free services, like maybe you want to offer free first aid or free BP. It's not everything that is about money, money, money. So when customer find you suitable for, okay, their product, they know they can get their range of products in your pharmacy, they know they can get a free BP check. In that way, you'll be cultivating loyalty. And another way is to have loyalty scheme where customers can earn some points, they can get discount, from your pharmacy. It's very important. So as a community pharmacy, we must always think of that niche. What is that thing that stands you out from the masses? As you all know, there are many community pharmacies out there, and you can't stop competition. There will always be, new pharmacies springing up around you. So you now have to take it upon yourself to look for ways by which you can cultivate this customer loyalty. It is this loyalty that will make your customer want to come back to you. And in doing that also, price is key. In everything we are doing, price is a major factor when it comes to building loyalty and in having return customers. Okay, so I will talk on collaboration. I tell you, as a community pharmacy, you can't stop on just brick and mortar walking customers alone. You can't rely on that alone. If you rely on that alone, it can lead to frustration, because sometimes you are not just going to have those walk-in customers. So how do you meet up on your sales when you don't have walk-in customers? That's why you have to leverage on the healthcare providers around, other healthcare providers in your community. So you're going to become familiar and build partnership with clinics. You want to build partnership with hospitals around you. Find out the HMOs there are new HMOs that are springing up now, the health insurances that you can partner with, you can collaborate with. I tell you, the business of community pharmacy has a lot to do with collaboration. Even the other community pharmacies around you that you think they are your competitors, you have to look for a way to partner with them. Don't just be like a lone ranger that, no, they are my competitors. So no, you're not going to do that. You're going to visit those community pharmacies too around you. Be their friend. Ask them, how are they doing it? What are the, share ideas. I don't think everything has to be, oh, they are my competitors. No. You have to leverage on each of the community pharmacies that are around you. Let them know that you exist there. Tell them what you're doing differently. Also, listen to them, to listen to their challenges. Those are ways that we can all as one, grow our pharmacy. So the HMO, I want to also emphasize on that. It goes a long way in shifting your sales needle, your revenue at the end of the month. If you have good HMO partners, I tell you, they'll give you lots of prescriptions that at the end of the month, by the time you do your calculation, the amount you are getting from HMO, it can settle some of your expenses. So it's very important that we leverage on that. Of course, branding and marketing, very, very important. And I tell you, the branding starts from the colors. How do the colors of your pharmacy? Is it a welcoming color? Is how is the ambience? You don't want your pharmacy to be a place where people come and they are fanning themselves, or the place doesn't smell good. No, put good humidifiers in your pharmacy, such that when customers walk into the pharmacy, the smell alone already give them, you know, that healing effect. Maybe it's lavender you want to use. The smell of lavender already gives them a calming effect. They already feel welcome. So branding goes a long way, from color, the ambience, you know, and even the staff that you have. The staff that you have on duty, they are part of your branding. You don't want to recruit people that will spoil your brand, which is why you also, as the CEO, you have to put a lot of work in that aspect. Your staff, they are part of your brand, and you must make sure that they they carry out everything everything that has to do with your brand being excellent. And whenever you see something that customers complain about your staff, you want to quickly address it as fast as possible, because you don't want anything to spoil that brand that you have been building. So it's very important. And of course, marketing. You can leverage on technology for marketing. So we move to the next slide now, of leveraging community engagement. So our next slide will be on leveraging community engagement. Okay, so under that, I have health workshops, awareness campaign, and support for local events. As a community pharmacy, like I said earlier, your presence has to be known. So you have to leverage health workshops. That is why, as community pharmacists, we have to go for workshops. We have to go for campaigns. I remember the last one we did in our community. There was an awareness we did then for we did a campaign against fake drugs. I was there, to show that we also were in this community, and I joined other colleagues and in the campaign, and I also, I met quite a few pharmacists then, pharmacy owners, and since then I've been able to build that relationship, work on it. Now I know the pharmacies around me. I chat with them, they chat with me. Because in the journey of growth, you can't do it alone. You need people around you. You need to attend workshop. You need to attend seminars and webinars like this also help us, in this growth journey. And as much as possible, we want to also support local events in our community. And the fourth point I'll be talking about is the role of technology in the success journey. I tell you, as community pharmacists, we have to embrace technology in everything we do. Every business now has moved from brick and mortar to tech. If you are still operating as a brick and mortar, it is fine. It's a good place to start. But you must move from that brick and mortar to tech. Very, very, very important for us to have a successful community pharmacy. We must be thinking tech. Oh, how do I leverage tech? Everything we are doing, we have to. So here, the first point I noted here is your inventory management, which is why the software we all use for our sales, the point of sales software is very important. We must use point of sales that can guide us in data-driven decision making. So it is your software that will guide you on the quantity of a particular product that you want to stock. I've always been there. I've been there. There was a time, when we first launched, we didn't really take, inventory seriously. I was like, a fan B of Health Plus. I thought everything would just be going smoothly. But no, we lost some money then to expired product. And since then, I had to take inventory management critically. I don't just I don't just make orders without first looking at what is my inventory saying. How many of these items did I sell last month? How long has this product been here? Do I need to stop stocking this? So you need to leverage on your inventory. The software you are using must be able to give you some key data at the end of the month. Which one are the fast lines? Which ones are the slow moving product? Very important. So you have to have an inventory management that is efficient. It's not just an inventory management that is just doing sales. No. Your inventory must capture your total sales at the end of the day, your total sales per hour, your total sales. So you must be able to measure some sales data per hour, per week, per month, so that you can compare. These are things that will guide you on what to stock. So at the end of the month, your data, your inventory should be able to tell you, oh, okay, is it that is groceries that is, what particular grocery are they buying? What type of anti-malaria is moving? Is it Coartem? Is it Lonart? Which one do I need to stock more? And so your inventory goes a very long way. And okay, I'll talk on online presence. I said it earlier that everything we are doing now, we have to take it online. We're not going to just sit down as a one branch one branch owner and you are waiting for customers to walk in. No, you have to take whatever you are doing in store, you have to take it online and perhaps grow to e-commerce. I study Advantage Health Africa a lot, and I see that they are doing a great job. They have so many online platforms, e-commerce, software. They're just doing so many things. They have left the level of just, brick and mortar. So as community pharmacists, I want us to also be thinking fast. That website that you have, I know when you first started, you just built a simple website. You have to always think about, how do I upgrade this website from just an ordinary website to an e-commerce website, so that I don't limit my customers to just the walk-in customers. You have to be able to have an open channel website where you can get people from everywhere to make their orders. So you have to continuously think about upgrading your online presence, upgrade your website, upgrade all your social media platform, even WhatsApp. As simple as WhatsApp is, there are lots of things that you can do on WhatsApp. you know Sometimes when I get before I get to the store, sometimes I've consulted for like ten customers, even while at home. When I wake up, sometimes I've seen, the first thing I look at is my phone, and I've seen a lot of questions. Hey, Fambia, this is how I feel, this, that, 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 that. And I can spend 1 hour answering all those customers. And most of them, they want delivery. They don't even want to go to the store to do anything. They want it delivered to them. So sometimes before I get to the store, I've made some sales myself at home, which tells you that we can't limit ourselves to just walk-in customers. We have to leverage all everything technology, from WhatsApp to Instagram, to all social media platforms, and to the website. There's a way you can build your website, and you get a WhatsApp chat. When people visit your website, you have something like a WhatsApp chat corner there. When people click it, then you get their order. So that is why we need to harness technology to the limit. You have to keep looking out for what is the new thing that I can do to boost my sales. And I tell you, that boosting is not going to come from just walk-in customers. It has to be from e-commerce, online. I tell you, there is a lot going on online that we can leverage on. And the last point on technology is data-driven decision. We have to leave emotions. One thing I've learned on this journey is that you can't make decisions only on how you feel as a as a CEO or as a co-founder. You don't just want to make decisions on how you feel. Every decision you take, you must have the data to back it up. It's very, very important. You can't say, I want my shelf to look in this way. My shelf should be, full. And maybe because you have money, you just want to be pumping it. Okay, they say, is this brand of supplement that is raining now? You just put money and jump into it. Meanwhile, you are not even there in your store to push those items, or to train your staff. Meanwhile, you have emotionally taken decisions that will go and tie money down in your store. So data driven decision is very, very important when we are operating our pharmacy. Don't do things based on what is raining now. They say is this particular product. You just go and invest money, and at the end of the day, you lose that money because you are not data driven. Okay. I think that's all we have for now. I will, yeah, we have question and answer session, so you can drop your questions in the chat box here, and I will pick it up from there. Before we move to an assignment, I have an assignment for all of us that we can
Fantastic.
think about. Yeah. So over to you, Taiwo. Thank you.
All right, Ma. Thank you so much. Very, very, very insightful. I particularly like that you were even able to share from your own practical experience, right? How you saw firsthand that your pharmacy at the time, Health Plus Pharmacy, lost some money to expiries, and you were able to take certain critical data-driven decisions to improve your inventory management and ultimately sales in the pharmacy. Thank you, and helping us to also see that. The data is not just even any kind of data. Data that can give you information per time, sales per hour, sales per week, sales per month, which products are actually leading to those sales, whether it's the supermarket section or it's the pharmacy section, which line of products in particular. Thank you very much for sharing from your experiences. Thank you so much. I know that we have gained insights from this session so far. So I'd like to hear from us. What are the key takeaways so far in this session? What have you learned? What are the things that have jumped at you, so to speak, in the course of this session? And yes, if you've got questions, this is also a good time to ask your questions. You can type in the chat section, or you can simply raise your hand so that you can be called upon to unmute yourself. So please type in the chat section or raise your hand to unmute yourself. Very good. Me, I've got one question. Branding and
Okay.
marketing. I'm glad that you even spoke about it. From the signage to the colors, very, very important. And even the staffing, right? One wouldn't even really consider staff as a part of the brand, as having a great influence on the brand, but they actually do, like you rightly said. The
Yeah.
staff greatly, greatly impacts the brand perception of a pharmacy and of any business in particular, right? And
Yeah.
there is a popular conception that branding and marketing are expensive. The pharmacy is just trying to get off their foot, and you want them to invest money in Google My Business, in an Instagram page, maybe hiring a social media manager to oversee their social media pages, right? Branding and marketing are popularly perceived as expensive. What do you have to say to this, Ma?
All right. So I tell you that there is always a cheap approach to everything. You don't have to go the expensive way all the time. Okay. So I spoke about staffing earlier, that our staff, they constitute a major aspect of branding. The way you package your staff, the way they communicate with the customers, it goes a long way. So when it comes to doing ads, there before we start spending money on ads, there's something we did. Um, we actually have some product line that we carved out for the low income earners, and the offer is very attractive. So we did that to make those low income earners as advocates, you know, such that when they are talking about our brand outside, people are not going to perceive us as expensive. So to us, that's a form of marketing. You want to have some items that are attractive, perhaps maybe your drinks, or maybe a particular brand of paracetamol. Maybe every other person is selling it 150. You are selling your own paracetamol as 100 naira. I tell you, you can leverage on that to have food soldiers, customers that will be telling other customers that, if you go to that pharmacy, they have paracetamol, their own paracetamol is 100 naira. So in that way, you don't have to spend so much money on Instagram. And even on Instagram, you want to do ads, there are some platforms that you can do ads as low as 5,000 now, just for sponsored ads. And nowadays these sponsored ads, we can do it ourselves. You don't have to pay somebody. There's a way you can do sponsored ads on Instagram yourself. You learn it and you do it yourself. You don't have to spend so much money doing ads. Even you posting your content, if you do it maybe 3 times a week, then that doesn't require you spending money on ads. You posting alone is a form of advertising your services, your product, what you represent in that community. So I don't believe I have to spend so much, and we don't have to see everything from the side of is money I have to spend. No. When you finish thinking about that, when you look inward, you will see that some of the things that you think we require money, you can do them with a low cost by looking at the other channels. So that's what I have to say. That I hope that answers.
Very good, very good.
the-
Start small. I believe that's the summary of what you have said, Ma. Start
Yeah,
small, right? And there are many things that you can do by yourself and that you can outsource at low costs as well. You
yeah,
can outsource at low cost. So even the ads, you can start small for maybe certain periods. You can target certain periods or certain products. Maybe not for all products. Maybe there's a particular line of product or package that you really, really want to advertise. You can target that as well. And maybe decide how often you want to run ads so that they can also plan towards that. Or who knows, maybe one of your staff members has already taken an online course on social media management. You give that person an opportunity to sharpen their skills as well. They're offering more value to your pharmacy and offering more value to themselves. I particularly like the point you made about product packages. You already have them in tiers for low income earners, middle income earners, high income earners. I think that's something quite interesting. If you care to shed more light on that, I know for people who don't know, we run a coaching program for pharmacy owners and managers. It's a 3 month coaching program. And all these things that she has mentioned are some of the key insights that we also share in that community, right? And I particularly like that you have also mentioned it, being able to have patient categories and crafting solutions aligned to the needs of each patient category. Please shed more light on that, especially for those who really, really do not understand it.
okay. So I think earlier during the week, there was a question that you posted, and people were like, the sales have dropped, and I saw all the problems. you know Sincerely, all the problems are genuine. They are genuine. The Japa syndrome is real. And I also have a lot of my customers that have relocated abroad. So the Japa syndrome is real. The economy is harsh at the moment. Things are expensive. So how do you survive? So I remember I posted that you can focus on the low hanging fruits at this point, because all your high spenders and the middle class, they have relocated. So how do you do it? You have leverage on what you have. So what you have now are the low income earners. So, and I tell you, there is a lot we can tap from low income earners. It's just that sometimes some of us, we carry ourselves like, I'm a big brand, I don't want to do so type of product. I tell you, I think now we have to, a community pharmacy, you have to really meet the needs. What what do your customers need? In Glee World, I've seen that it's not all the time the customers are sick. And I tell you, sometimes they will tell you, Madam, we are not even sick now. We want to, do you have snacks? In your pharmacy, what snacks do you have? I just want to snack on something. So we have to leverage on the low hanging fruit. It goes a long way. That 200, 500, by the time you gather it at the end of the day, it still all boils down to Pareto's theory. I tell you, it works. If all your big customers have relocated, then focus on the low hanging fruit now. Focus on them, meet their needs. When they come, ask them, okay, apart from this, what else would you like to get? and make sure it's available. Once customer trusts that, oh, I can get my groceries from this store, they can be committed to you. You just see them coming and coming. And I tell you, once you are able to build that trust that, oh, okay, you do some groceries, you see them coming over and over again. So let's not look down on the low valued items that we have, maybe in the grocery sector. Grocery still goes a long way. It goes a long way. And I tell you, they can boost your revenue at the end of the month. So I hope that helps.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Really, it's all about listening to the market, listening to your people. What are people asking for? What are the needs of your people? And that's really why it's also important to pay attention to your customer category, your patient's needs, and then also interact effectively, right? Because it's because you also
Yes.
have built a great relationship with your clients that they can easily come to your pharmacy to say, Ma, please, today I don't even want drugs, or I just want to rest. I just want to chill. What do you have that I can use to calm down? Right? It's because you
Oh,
have
yes.
built a relationship. And that's really what patient centered care is all about. That's really what patient centered care is all about. I see a number of questions already in the chat section. By the way, I just shared a link on the chat section. She had mentioned fulfilling orders for HMOs. Fantastic, right? I guess you already do it on your own because of relationship that you have built with some of these companies. And for us at Advantage Health Africa, we actually have a centralized partnership with a number of HMOs across Nigeria. And we've got hundreds of pharmacies across Nigeria in our network, in our fulfillment network. So if you like to also sign up, even if you already have a partnership with some others, you can still come under the fulfillment pharmacy network of Advantage Health Africa. In the end, you are fulfilling the same goal to advance patient care, to drive access to quality and affordable medications. I know that for pharmacies who sign up, there is a commission. Of course, they are buying straight from your pharmacy, right? So all you have to do is to pay a commission to the Advantage Health Africa team. But the team will follow up with you when you sign up the form, and they will onboard you properly. So kindly fill the form if you'd like to be a part of the fulfillment pharmacy network to attend to our online orders from HMOs, even from our website, and other people who reach out to us for online prescriptions. Yeah, so I see a number of questions already in the chat section. Very interesting question from Right Care Pharmacy. What are the data, numbers, or indices to measure and monitor to track sales growth? I know you mentioned one in the course of your presentation. Sales, I think it said sales per week, sales per day, sales per hour, sales per month. All right. I'm sure you've got other metrics to share with us. What are those metrics that we can measure and monitor to track sales growth in our pharmacies?
Okay, so one of the indices we can measure is our prescription refills. So you can check that's why I said your inventory management is very, very important. So on your inventory management, you should be able to capture the number of prescription refills per month. So if you have been filling prescriptions, say 100 in a month, the following month, you should be able to say, oh, okay, I filled 100 this month. The next month, I want to do 120. So that's one way you can track your growth index, the number of prescription refills, then also the number of customers. Your inventory should be able to tell you how many customers you attended to this month. The following month, did the number increase or reduce? So if the number reduces, that's now when you will say, oh, okay, it's like I'm not doing something right. What can I do? Do I need to send messages, maybe bulk messages to my customers, maybe just to greet them? It's not every time there is maybe the festive season you want to send messages. No. If you notice from your end of the month report that, oh, the number of customers that visited has reduced, You can do a bulk SMS to awaken your customer that you are still here, and sometimes you can do one-on-one. Tell you can just send a text or WhatsApp. Ma'am, just checking on you, or sir, we've not received your prescription for this month. Hope there's no problem. How can we? So that the number of customers per month. You can also check with the number of customers, the number of prescriptions you are able to fulfill. Very important, which is why the technology, leveraging on technology is important. You are not going to have all this data by hand or by heart. It is the type of point of sales, your software, that we give you this guidance. And also there is this inventory to turnover ratio. You should be able to check that inventory to turn over. How many times am I able to turn over this particular amount? You can also um, gauge your growth from that. You know, you can buy 20 packs of Coartem, and you can sell 60 packs in a month. That means you have been able to turn over that money 3 times, and sometimes maybe it's just 2 times. So that with that, your sales can also guide you on the parameter, the indices you are measuring. You can measure through your sales, you can measure through the number of prescriptions, you can measure through the um the s- the number of sales, prescription, and the one I just shared now. It can guide you. All these things, they are on your inventory. If you are using the right inventory for your business, I tell you, you can get some of these parameters. Very, very important. Very important. And also, with what I've noticed, sometimes the gross profit might not be much. You can have a large volume of sales, but by the time you remove all the expenses, you now discover that the gross profit is not much. But don't despair. In this journey, you are not going to just be profit in quotes. I'm not saying that we are all in business for profit, but the number of turnover sometimes it goes a long way. Why I said it is that um, when we had conversation with some of the investors, because we are in the stage where we want to scale, and I heard one of the investors saying they are not even talking about profit. They are talking about the revenue, how much has passed through your hand over a particular period. So they are not really looking at the profit. Is this profitable? No, they are looking at, okay, if I give this person $10,000, can this person give me multiples within a year? So that is another way to look at it from an investor point of view. Some investors are not looking at profit. They are looking at, what is your revenue? You are doing, perhaps maybe you did 50 million your year one. Year two, you did 70 million. Year three, you did 100 million. That is progress from the investor point of view. But meanwhile, you are like, but the profit is not much, you know. So I have learned that, okay, what investors are looking at is that they want to see the turnover. Can this person use this money well? If I invest, can I get my money back? The profit might be minimal, but the turnover is more important. Just like I said earlier, when I talked about low hanging, focusing on low hanging fruit, the profit you get on low hanging fruit is minimal, but you are able to turn over as fast as possible, which is also brings us to the value of time. Timing is very, very important in retail. And the 80-20 principle will always be relevant in retail. You don't want to waste, you don't want any product sitting on your shelf for a month and you have not done anything about it. Put a marginal profit on it so that you sell it, you can quickly. It's better I sell that particular product and maybe I buy for 5,000 and I'm selling at 6,000. It's better I'm able to multiply that 6,000 four times in a whole month than for me to put that product there and I'm marking it up at 8,000 and the product is there for a whole month. Maybe you have not even sold it. That product has lost value. So as an entrepreneur, we also have to be time focused. This 21st century is a time-based century. Time is of more essence than money. So for once, I appreciate suppliers who give me credit than suppliers who I will go and do cash and carry because I know the value of time that I'm gaining. If you give me, say, 1 month to pay for my product, and maybe perhaps your product is slightly more expensive than where I buy cash and carry, I'll go for the supplier that gives me time because I value time a lot. So those are different ways we can look at it.
Very
Okay.
interesting. This is indeed a masterclass on its own. I like that concept of turnover, right? That yeah, the profit on it may be minimal, but if you're able to turn it over so many times in a short period of time, fantastic. You're actually getting multiples already. That's a really, really beautiful way to look at it. Very thank you so much, Ma, for that. Thank you. I think that is so insightful. And like you said, time is a currency. Time is a currency. So whatever you do, how you manage your inventory, how you view your sales, your overall growth, use time as a currency, use time as a measurement, really, to view your progress over the period of time. And that discussion about investment, I think we are going to have another masterclass on it because I'm sure many pharmacies really aspire, to gain external investment so that they can scale. And it should be great to hear from somebody who has also walked down that path. Thank you
I,
so much.
I think you guys should guide us because I know you guys have raised some investments now. So
No,
me as
wahala.
yeah.
All right, so I see more questions already in the chat section.
Okay.
Okay, this is a comment. Sales without profits. Okay, another question. Sales without profits may be counterproductive. What are your strategies to ensure profitability while boosting sales? I think this has actually been somewhat answered, unless you have additional points. Sales without profits can be counterproductive. Technically, meaning that gross profit can be very minimal, especially, and then of the net profit can be minimal, especially after you have removed your expenses and so on. What are the strategies to actually ensure profitability, increase your net profit while still boosting sales? Any additional thoughts
Okay.
on that? I believe you responded
Oh yes.
already, but
I have. So I talked about some services you can offer, like you want to do blood sugar test, you want to offer, you now have to look at your community. What are the services that can act like ads on? Services like maybe mental health services, you want to offer some counseling to mental health. There are some, maybe some guys are into drugs. How can you offer mental health services, first aid care in your pharmacy? There are some services that you can add. And like I said, in your store, there are some high valued products that can give you times 10 of the low value. So you need to, strategy is something that you have to do every month in your pharmacy. You have to critically study your store and say, okay, these are the high valued items. For you to increase your net profit, you have to work on that in your link selling, cross selling. When customers approach you, you don't just want to do, oh, okay, what do you want? I want quarten, buy and go. After they finish taking that quarten, you have to engage that customer. Oh man, after you finish taking this, so these are the supplements that can help revitalize your system, they can boost your immunity and things like that. So that's the way for you to increase your net profit. And also, as an entrepreneur, one thing I think we all should, something that can keep you in focus is your why. Why did I start this
Mm.
business? Community pharmacy, I can tell you categorically, if you are looking for immediate profit, it can be tiring, it's hard. It can demotivate you. So your why, your reason, your vision is what will keep you going when the profit is not coming in the numbers you are expecting. So
Mm.
yes, in the number,
Absolutely.
the money will come. So we all have to be long-term driven, that, oh,
Mm.
I'm not in this community retail pharmacy for immediate gain. If you are
Mm.
of that kind of mindset, I tell you, it can frustrate you. And you just, if every time you are just, hey, no profit today, and I have, it can frustrate somebody.
Mm. I
I tell
agree
you.
with you. I agree
So
with you.
it is your long-term vision. You should just know that one day, that is why I talked about technology a lot, and why we have to always be in this community, my pharmacy growth hub. We can get a lot of insight.
Fill the form, oh, if you're not yet in our community, oh, fill the form, oh. Mhm.
You know,
Now we are not charging. When we start charging now, we'll be charging
oh,
millions, oh.
fill the form. I think they have a lot of info,
Mm-hmm.
because our goal is to scale. You want to scale. By the time
Absolutely.
you scale, that profit you are even looking for now, it will be nothing to you, because by the time you scale, you start fundraising. That money will still come. But are
Mm.
you ready? Are you ready to give it everything now?
Now.
Are you ready to build those numbers?
Mm.
Because it is your numbers that investors will look at. Are you ready to build our website now? So retail pharmacy is a, let me say, is like a non-profit. You can
Mm.
start like a non-profit, because you are really going to be serving. You are going to be giving it your everything, knowing in mind that one day you will scale, you will fundraise, and that is when all your effort will be rewarded. So
Mm.
let's not be discouraged by, the profit is small. It's And let me tell you, from experience, I've noticed that it is difficult to run your business only on your revenue. It is difficult. You are always going to need an external funding, like loan, except maybe you have other sources. But with what I've seen for these 4 years, we've always had to get funding in form of loan. Yes, to you have to use loan to to pay your rent, to sort the bills. Very important. So if you are just looking at, okay, it's profit from, I must be able to pay my rent from profit, it might be a bit difficult. It's possible though. It's possible. If you are able to do the work of turning over your revenue in time. Turning over time is very important. It's possible, but have it in mind that you will always need an external funding for you to scale. You will always need it. You can start as one branch, two branches, but what should be driving you is, I want to scale. How did Advantage Health Africa do it? They started with one branch too, but now they are all over Africa. Is it just money from sales that they used? I doubt it. They have been able to scale. They have been able to do fundraising. And I respect Advantage Girl for that. They have been able. So we all should look at, what should I be doing now? What technology do I have to, what digital product do I have to put in place? You can start from your e-commerce. Like some of us, I don't know, Maybe some of us don't have a website. Put it in your to-do list that before the end of the year, I want my business to also have a website. I want my business to be on Google. I want my business to be on all the social media platforms. Those are the building blocks in building a global business. Community pharmacy has gone beyond just opening a store. I tell some of my mentees, it has gone beyond, oh, I just want to have a store like a shop. No, you have to start thinking global. That one store can fundraise, can become something big if you run it well. And if you are not just focused on, hey, how much profit did I make this month? No, we are not driven only by profit. As a pharmacist, the health, the health that you are, the health need of your society is more paramount to you than the profit. So always we must make sure that our impact is more important. Our impact in our society. Everybody in your society must feel you that you are there. They must feel you. So with you joining all those forces together, I tell you, you will. If it's increase in sales, your sales will increase. But beyond, okay, for some of us that have even our sales have increased. We have increased 2 million, 3 million. Okay, maybe you are making 2 million before. Now you are making 3 million. What have you done with that 3 million? Do you just want to sit there? Okay, I make 3 million. Now, what next? So you should always ask yourself, what next? And your what next should not just be in you accruing revenue. Your what next is, how do I take this business to the next level? How do I grow global? How do I move from Lagos to another state? How do I move from 2 states to 5 states? From there, how do I extend my impact towards West African countries? That's what we are talking about here. We're not just profit driven. And I tell you, every new business, you have to go through a phase. You have to do your homework. You have to go through a phase before you can even see genuine profit. So I tell people, if you are not ready for the work, the community pharmacy is very laborious. I don't know, maybe in my own point of view, I have seen that it is laborious. It's really going to take a lot from you. There is what we call labor, that labor aspect of production. It's going to demand it from you. So are you ready to put in the work at the initial phase? If the pharmacy is struggling, let's look at it again. Which are some of the things that we have discussed here? We can really do so much with little that we have. I tell you, we can do so much. If some of your customers have relocated, the ones that are around, let's let's talk up what they want. I tell you, let's talk up. Let's improve on the grocery. If it's grocery that is giving you your revenue, you can commit maybe 50-50. Do 50% grocery, 50% medicines, so that you balance it. And I tell you, once you are able to gather momentum in the grocery aspect, there is a pharmacy close by in our community. In the night, I see people, 90% of their customers in the night, they are there to buy bread, drinks. I'm telling you, in the night, cake, biscuits, snacks. That is what they are selling at night. Won't it raise their revenue at the end of the month? It will definitely do. So let's be need centered. What do the customers need is more important than just talking up fancy products, you want to decorate your shelf. If you ask me, me too, I love fanciful products on my shelf, but I've learned my lessons that it's not just about fanciful products, it's about need. When there was a time I ran through my inventory and I saw that okay, that particular month we had more male customers. What are the male customers? What are they buying? Okay, and I saw that okay, it's the sexual health department that is boosting sales for that particular month. I had to focus on the sexual health aspect for that month. Things like vigors, things like manpower, manpower coffee, things to boost their sexual health generally. We focus on that. You will see that when the men, when they are thinking in that direction, they are coming to your pharmacy. And you are also there to guide them. Oh, this is the one you should take, or don't take more than. So it's not just about pushing out the product. You are also there to guide them. I have a lot of male friends, customers that they are depending on my advice for the type of supplement they want to use for for their sexual health, you know. So it's like that. We have the every month you have to look at your data, your inventory. Okay, what did we sell most? Which item did we sell most? Which anti-malaria, things like that. And you stock up. And one thing you don't want to lose in your pharmacy is momentum. Very important. If you discover that this particular item is the item that they like, don't lose momentum for that particular product. Always make sure you have it. That is how to build trust as well. And you begin to have referrals. If you are looking for that, just go there. They will always have, you know. Those are the type of testimony you'll be hearing. They will always have. So let's not lose momentum. If your low income earners are looking towards groceries, let's not lose momentum for that aspect. Like I told someone that okay, if your customers are buying drinks and they know that you sell medicine as well, if they have diarrhea or they have stomach upset, they will still come back to you and say, pharmacist, please, I'm stooling. What can I take? I have diarrhea. So at the end of the day, you will see that you are able to meet their daily needs and their health needs at the same time. So you're serving two purposes for them. So I believe we can strengthen if it's your community tends towards groceries, you can strengthen that department. Let customers have. Let customers know that you have those things. And I tell you, they will always come back. And I talked about loyalty earlier. Let's build loyalty scheme. It's part of our question and the assignment I have for us too. I don't know if Taiwo can share the assignment so that
Okay. Okay.
yes.
I wanted us
Uh,
to conclude this Q&A session. So good, very insightful.
okay, okay.
Three key
Any other
points.
question?
Yeah, there's one more. Three key points, just to summarize what you have said so far, is build for the long haul, not only for the present, not only for the now, build for the long term. Be patient, needs focused, and build momentum also, based on the needs of your patients, based on what their ask really is. Build momentum in meeting those needs on a regular basis. Very good. Two more questions in the chat section. One is, how have you been able to manage pilferage, expiries, loss in the pharmacy? And the second is, which software do you recommend?
Okay. Hmm. Pilferage. Okay. Um, Currently we don't even this might this might sound a bit funny, but when when we thought of building cameras in the pharmacy and all that, and the the billing we had then was about 300,000, and we looked at it and we're like 300 to cover 300,000 from this business is a whole lot. So we didn't do that camera at that time, and I will tell you why. So we what I do is every month, of course, we do our stock count and all that. And beyond stock count, because human beings will always be human beings. Beyond stock count, what we do is to continually train our staff, our core values. You know, we taught all of them the role of being a leader, our core values, trust, accountability. And during those training sessions, we'll actually let you know that if anything gets missing, you're going to take responsibility for it. So, because I believe that even if you have cameras, I tell you, in Health Plus, when I was in Health Plus those days, there were about 4 branches under me then. There were cameras. People manipulated the cameras and they were still caught. It was not even the cameras that caught the staff. It is the their colleagues that caught them. That tells you that even camera can have its own limitation. So what I would suggest is that your stock count is very important. Stock count, then hold your staff accountable. Let them know that accountability is key. If anything happens, they're going to take responsibility for it. So so far so good. I won't say we've had pilferage and all that. If we did a stock count and we discover some items are missing, all of us are going to look at how did it get missing? What did we do? When did we buy it? Show me, because we have an inventory. Show me how many did we sell, who sold what, and all that. And everybody should be able to answer to it. So, and I tell you, holding that conversation with them on a regular basis, it also goes a long way. Send them, let them know that if anything happens, they are going to take responsibility. And number two, we also let them know that they are all leaders. We preach leadership a lot in our pharmacy. So you don't want to behave like a follower or someone who is not concerned. So we let them know that they are leaders, and this is how a leader should behave. This is how a leader should have ownership mindset, ownership mentality. So we always want them to picture themselves as the owner of the business, so that they are not even tempted to want to pick anything. And also we have a package for staff to cater to their minor ailment needs. So if you have any minor ailment, cough, cold, malaria, minor ailments, the company cater to such need. Even if it's 3 times in a month, we want to make sure that you are fine. And we also have a package for staff. If you need an emergency need, you let us know, because you don't want to be caught. And they are aware of the consequences. If you pilfer, you're going to be fired. Once we are able to to verify that you did this, you're going to be fired. So, and I tell you, none of them want to be fired. So you let them know the consequences, that there are always consequences for your action. And if you do anything, you are ready to face the consequences. So I think that can reduce pilfering. In fact, a friend of mine told me recently she was even able to use camera to detect. There was a lot of pilfering going on with cameras in our store, and I was wondering, is it that people don't even fear that the camera is capturing them or not? So I think building that mindset, training goes a long way. Build mindset of leadership into your staff, and let the relationship also be cordial. Don't build a relationship of boss employee, you know, in your pharmacy. Let it be a platform where your employee can relate with you freely. You can relate with employee. You can look at them and study them and know whether they are being troubled at a particular point or not. You know, don't create that boss. Let it be a free platform where everybody can communicate their needs. I hope that helps.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm glad that you shared your personal experience and even experience of your friend, because for some persons, CCTVs have been very, very valuable. And of
Yeah,
course, for some other persons, they haven't exactly reaped the benefits of it. So, different strokes for different folks.
yeah,
Ultimately, I like the point that you made regarding placing the staff at the center of this engagement, because really, they are the staff are the food soldiers in the pharmacy. So if there is a culture of trust, accountability, a sense of leadership, it really, really goes a long way. You may not even need a camera in the first place because they wouldn't even venture into it.
yeah.
They already have that mindset. They are aligned to the core values of your company. So good. The other question was about the software that you recommend for use in the pharmacy. Somebody asked that.
Okay, currently we use Enterprise Pro. The software we use is Enterprise Pro, and it has almost all the metrics that you want to think about. All the metrics. You want to calculate how many customers. Oh, the best 10 items, the best sellers, the lowest selling items. So that's what we use for now. Enterprise Pro is the name
Okay,
of the
very good,
software.
very good. So if you're in the community, feel free to engage Pharm Bimpe Ojo further on that. And if you're also open to testing our own software that we will be launching soonest, the Advantage Pharmacy Management
Yeah.
Software for Community Pharmacies. This is also something that will be launching very soon and engaging pharmacies that have indicated interest to test run the software in their pharmacies. I see from Trinity's hand is raised, so we'll take that as our
Oh,
final question so we can round off
okay.
our assignment. Our lecturer came ready for us. She came very ready for us. All right, from Trinity, please unmute your mic and speak.
Hi, Pharmacist David. Thank you so much. I came in late. I think I actually came in when you were
Okay.
on your last slides, right? Talking about inventory control. I came in very late. I think I joined through LinkedIn. I was just on LinkedIn and I saw
Yeah.
the whole note and I saw the link. I said, let me just click and I jump in. Right. I didn't have any prior notice about the event or the program.
Oh, okay.
Uh, yeah, so it's actually good to see you. And we've spoken before, but it's my first time seeing your face. I've not seen you before. I don't know if you
Okay.
still remember. All right, so
Okay.
I just wanted to say something. Somebody asked about how to control. I just want to chip in something on the beverage aspect, right? So,
Okay.
for the other staff that are not pharmacists, if you employ them and you are able to offer them employment letter stating some basic rules, right, and go as far as getting a guarantor form, right, that will also put them at stake. They will actually know that, oh, if anything goes wrong, I somebody is actually responsible. It's not only me. They have a third party that we can actually reach out to. You understand? All right. So, but
Yeah.
so far the session has been so amazing. You've been giving us the points back to back, but I think I've missed a lot. I don't know
Thank
how
you.
you can get the slide though.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
If you're in the
I will
community,
can
you
share.
can get the slides. I'll share again the link to join the community. I'll share that in the chat section. So I'm sharing that right away. If you're not yet in the community, please click the link in the chat section so you can join us in my pharmacy growth hub where we share a lot. So today is just a teaser. Oh, this back to back today is teaser. There are so much more you can gain from the community if you are not yet there.
Yeah.
This has really been insightful. I am so glad that we have all gained a lot. Right, so let's just go straight into our assignment. I would
Okay. Sorry, Taiwo. Before we go to the assignment, I want to add something to what Farm Trinity just said.
okay.
Okay. Yeah. So you talked about having them fill the guarantor form and all that. Yeah, it's very, very important. Then I also want to add that we should all try to pay our staff well. When we pay them well, I think it goes a long way. One, in increasing your sales, because a motivated staff will go all the way to make sure that your business does well. So let's try to pay our staff well. And if we see a staff that is doing extremely, like going extra mile, nothing stops us from increasing that person's salary. So I think if our staff are doing well with their salaries, it can also reduce pilfering in one way or the other. It is when they are discontent, like they are disgruntled with their pay, that can make them to be tempted. But if we pay well, I think it can reduce pilfering.
Very good, very good, very good, very good. So for those who didn't catch all the points, because I know inventory management really is a pain point for many
It is.
pharmacies. So I'll just run through everything that we have shared before. One, make sure that your staff are aligned to your core values, to the core values of the organization. Build an atmosphere of trust and accountability. Build a mindset of leadership in all of your employees so that they carry themselves and see themselves as leaders. Also, ensure that you have certain structure for your recruitment, offer letters for your employees alongside a guarantor form, so that they know that they are not the only ones who are responsible. Their families or whoever is standing in for them is also culpable if anything goes wrong in the business. Also, pay your staff well, incentivize them or increase their salary whenever they show high performance. So these are very, very great insights, Ma. Thank you so, so much. All right, so I'll proceed to share my screen. All right, now I will be sharing from my phone, but I think I'll still be able to share anyway. So please confirm if you can still see it clearly, if you can see my screen clearly. Is it clear enough?
No, it's
What about
not clear.
This one is
Okay,
there.
yeah,
Can't
it's
see.
clear now.
okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm not
Okay,
watching it.
okay. So we have some assignments, things that we can think through throughout this month. How can you? So the number one is identify one customer loyalty enhancement idea that you can implement in your pharmacy. This could be a loyalty program, a special offer, or a personalized service. That's the first assignment. Then number two, imagine you are forming a collaborative initiative with a local healthcare provider. You could be a doctor, clinic, or a health specialist. Outline the key benefits of this collaboration for both your pharmacy and the healthcare provider. Share how you envision promoting this partnership to your customers and the local community. So it's for us to go and think about. Okay, number three, research and identify a technology solution that could benefit your pharmacy operations or customer experience. It could be a mobile app or an inventory management system. Describe the technology you have chosen, its advantages, and how you plan to implement it in your pharmacy. I think Advantage Health, they have something for us in this number three.
Yes.
So we can we can leverage on that. Can leverage on it. And I'm sure they know all the pain points on the inventory aspect. So
Yeah.
I will advise that we leverage Advantage Health to help us in case your inventory is not doing enough. You can
Oh.
sign up. At least I think Taiwo should give people on this webinar, please give them an upper hand.
Okay, Ma. Okay.
Yeah.
Already.
But you
Somebody
advocate
is
for
knocking.
discount for our people.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
All right,
Because
Ma.
I think you have like 20 slots or so.
Yeah. So we had shared the link for persons who want to test run the
Okay.
software when it gets launched. So it's already on
Oh,
the group. So for those who would like to be a part of the first pharmacist to test run the software when it gets launched, please fill the form. I'll reshare on the group as well for those who haven't
Oh,
filled it. And if you're not yet in the community, please fill the link, fill the form shared on the group as well to join my pharmacy growth hub. All right. So these are great assignments. Like I told you, our lecturer came very prepared for us. So our dear students, if you have questions, clarification, you need clarification to do your assignments, please ask now because the next few weeks will be hot. We'll be following you up, especially if you're on the community, right? The community people will enjoy a lot of accountability. So we can't keep you accountable if you're not on the group. But if you want accountability, then you should be in the community, right? The My Pharmacy Growth Hub. Kindly fill the interest form through the link in the group. So in the next few weeks, we'll be following up on these key assignments. It's a lot of work. I remember Bimpe Ojo telling me, Taiwo, you gave me a lot of work. Oh, to even prepare these slides, I felt like I was going back to school, right? Yeah. So she put in a lot of work, research to get this for us. And if you, as the listener, as the attendee, also want to derive value, impact from all that you have learned, it's for you to do the work. Like, this is great stuff we have learned today. But how does it translate to success for your business? How does it translate to growth for your business? How does it translate to increased sales for your business? It's not only the knowledge, it is the
yeah,
action. We usually say knowledge is
exactly.
power, right? Head knowledge alone is not power. It is knowledge that is translated into action that is power. Because when you implement that knowledge, then see the results. When you implement loyalty enhancement, I think we should mute our mics, our farmland. Please let's mute our mics if you are not supposed to be speaking. When you implement customer loyalty enhancement, that's when you begin to see new things you never used to pay attention to before regarding your customers. And then you begin to rethink customer engagement, how to drive customer satisfaction. Okay, maybe I can't use the strategy that ShopRite uses, for their customer engagement strategy. What else can I begin to use? How can I start small? We already spoke about that too in the course of the session. Yes, some of these ideas seem lofty, capital intensive. How do I start? But really, for every seemingly big idea, there is a small way to start. So start, really. When you start, then you begin to rethink how to start small based on your own stage and capacity, right? Second assignment, collaborative healthcare initiatives, very important. For those who are a part of our coaching program for pharmacy owners in the last cohort 2, by the way, cohort 3 will be starting in the next few weeks, right? For those who were in the coaching programs, we spoke a lot about how to drive collaborations with pharmaceutical companies, with clinics, hospitals. When we were receiving testimonials, somebody had partnered with an eye clinic for an outreach and was really thanking us. Thank you so much. I've gained a lot from this experience. I've gained a lot from this partnership. Many of us are leaving money on the table. This is not the age where you rely only on your walk-in customers. Yes, we're spoken about online sales, but beyond online sales, strategic partnerships will also drive sales for your pharmacy. So that's a key assignment. And you will not enjoy the benefits of those partnerships if you don't do the work. If you don't do the work, you will not enjoy the benefits. So the persons who will have testimonials, who will enjoy the benefits, are the persons who will put their hands to the plow to say, I will do it. It will be hard, but I will do my part. I will do my best, right? And the final assignment, innovative technology integration, great one. And you can apply technology to different phases of your business. Okay, whether it's the POS, the sales aspect, the inventory aspect, or even staff management. So maybe you don't even have money to commit to an all-in-one software. What about picking different aspects of your business per time to say, okay, what tech strategy can I explore? It could be that you don't even have a social media presence. Why not start with that? Or you don't even have Google My Business account. Start with that. Do you see? Different people are at different phases in their business. So identify your current phase. What's that big need that you have at this time? And identify that tech solution that you can explore. I'm sure that we have gained tremendous insight from this. So when I'm following you people up in the next few weeks, Be good students and submit your assignment, even without me asking. I want to be seeing your submissions. Feel free to share on the group, right? Because there is the power of communal learning, peer-to-peer learning. When you share your assignment on the group, for example, or if you send via email, I'll share our email address in the chat section. It's info@mypharmacy.africa. I'll also type in the chat section as well. But if you're already in the community, feel free to share. You can send to me on WhatsApp directly or share on the group page. When you share, people get excited too because they are learning. Some other persons who were not even in this session, maybe when they listen to the recording and they've seen your assignment, they can learn from it. They'll ask questions. You too will begin to think about certain things you didn't even used to think before, and you also get better. So as you do better, as you know better, you do better. As you know better, you do better, and you become better, really. Great. Thank you so much, Matt. This has been a phenomenal session, and I believe we have all learned a lot. I have learned a lot. I'm sure you all have learned a lot. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Matt. So I think this is a good place to draw the curtains. Maybe you could give us closing remarks as we go, Matt.
Okay, I want to say a very big thank you for all who joined this webinar. I'm sure we have learned one or two things. I've also learned from the questions and some of the answers that you guys gave. Thank you for your time. It's worth it. And I also want to thank Taiwo for putting this together. Fantastic work you're doing. You know, I always tell you that on WhatsApp. Fantastic job. I kudos to you, and kudos to Advantage Health and my pharmacy growth hub. Thank you for this platform. I do not take it for granted. And in fact, when you first told me, I was like, I have to jump on this. So no need to hide at all. So I want to also encourage some of us here, if we are called to share, please let's share our learnings in this journey of pharmacy. I tell you, we've all learned one or two things in running our pharmacy, and it's a good thing for us to share for others to learn and also not make some of the mistakes we have made. So I want to say thank you for creating this time to join this webinar out of your busy schedule. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Matt. And thank you so much, everybody. This has been a phenomenal session. So let's go on and do. Let's go on and implement. We've been fired up already. Wow. From Trinity came all the way from LinkedIn. I must attend this session, no, right? No, we're attending to a client in the pharmacy. We quickly finished up. I must pay attention to this session, no. Now we have learned a lot. What is the next step? Like she already said, okay, you set sales targets. After meeting those targets, what next? Now you have learned. You set a learning goal. You've achieved the learning goal. What next? Action really is key because it is the action that births the results. So let's go on. Let's be action driven and let's share our results, right? Don't hide. Don't say, what do I know? What do I know? The one I did is so small. I don't have anything to share. No. Don't be shy. And there's power in sharing, right? Because as you share,
Yeah.
you learn more, right? You build up yourself as you build up other people. Thank you so much, everybody. Do enjoy the rest of
Thank
your weekend.
you.
And I look forward to receiving your assignments in the next few weeks. Bye, everybody.
Bye.